Hello everybody, welcome to Cooking Live on Facebook with Gosia, brought to you by Seven Oaks Senior Center in Perry Hall, Maryland. Today I will show you how to make krokiety z kapustą i grzybami and barszcz czerwony. Croquettes with mushrooms and sauerkraut and red barszcz. So we will start. I already prepared my broth this morning. I basically made it like I would make rosół. So I had a few pieces of chicken, lots of vegetables, and then I just took everything out and I just left like clear broth. So we will warm that up and we'll work on our beets. So with beets, I had like about 3 pounds of beets and I already prepped them too. I washed them, I cut them, cleaned them, and I baked them in the oven in 375 degrees for 1 hour and 15 minutes. Then I peeled the skins and cut them in pieces. Now I will shred them. I will put glove on so my hand doesn't get stained. And we'll load our food processor. As you noticed, I wear black apron today because I don't want to get my white coat dirty. That will be quite interesting. I think we have full container here. Let me empty it. I also protected my counter so it doesn't get stained. Let me put these things here. And I will just drop this into the soup, into my base. Later we'll clean that bowl nicely. I'll just pull this down. Yep. This back on. And this back on. Maybe let me cover this pot. I already see red soup inside the pot. These beets are really red, nice. Okay, I think now I can get rid of my glove. Washing hands is crucial here to not get everything dirty with beets. Now we'll scrape everything nicely and all of that will go into our broth. You're probably thinking why we have all these pieces shredded into the soup. Then at the end we can strain our soup so it's like really clear. I'll just put it here and then we'll transfer to the pot. And our broth is almost boiling. Okay, almost all. Last little thing, and I will mix it. Oh, you see, it's nice and red already. Perfect. We have it cook for 20 minutes, let's say. We'll see how long other things will take us. It just beats everything else is ready there. We'll cover this. We'll warm up skillet for our crepes batter. Okay. Let me just clean up quickly here so you have more space to work. Okay, so now we are ready for our crepes. I already made lots of them, but I will finish. I need few more and I'll show you how I make them. So I have low butter. For this stack is about 15 pieces. I used 3 cups of flour and a little bit over 3 cups of milk and 2 eggs and dash of salt. And the butter has to be runny, not too thick, because then you cannot really make them nice and big on your skillet. So I think this is hot enough. Let me just put some oil. Oh, we can leave it here. And we just put some in the middle and we just go around. This one is pretty thick. Most of them are very thin, but it's really up to you. The soup is start to boiling. Let's lower the heat. It's nice and red from all the beets, beautiful. Okay, let it simmer. I think this is ready to be flipped. There you go. Perfect. Very nice. I will make like 3 of them so you see that I can do them. Done. Another one. Nice and round, spread everywhere, all around. It's good. After we finish with our crepes, we will talk about the filling for them. And you can use anything you would like to fill them with. It can be meat with sauerkraut, it can be plain meat, it could be meat from your broth, just grounded and spiced up nicely. And today I use mushrooms and sauerkraut because that's my favorite. Okay, I think this is our last one. Okay, so we have whole platter of that. Can put this on the side since we don't need that anymore. I will use that skillet for frying my my croquette, but that will be used in a little while. So now I will talk about my filling. So I used 2 packages of mushrooms, which are just regular white mushrooms, and I used few of the wild mushrooms I have from Poland, dried mushrooms. So I soak them in the water and then I cook them in a small amount of water with all mushrooms bought here. And I cooked my sauerkraut for about half an hour separately. You have to try your sauerkraut before cooking. If it's too sour, you have to rinse it so you get rid of some of the sourness. After it cools down, you have to squeeze excess of juice and water from the sauerkraut. Same about mushrooms. And then you can chop them really finely, or you can grind them in a grinder. That's what I did. And I also sauteed 1 onion, and I grind that onion in the grinder too as well, and then mixed it, salted and peppered it. I used the oil from sauteing onion in it, so it's like a little bit like shiny, gives like a little bit grease into it so it's not too dry. So our next step, we'll have to put our filling into our crepes and wrap it nicely. Then we use eggs. Just like we did our cutlets, we just dip them in eggs and then in breadcrumbs. So we'll have some of each. Our filling should be spiced, salted and peppered enough so you don't have to add any salt or pepper after you cook. Let me preheat my pan here. I'll put some oil because we'll be frying. Gently frying. And let's whisk our eggs. Okay, how I usually do, I just first wrap everything, and then at the end when I'm ready to fry, when everything is wrapped, I go and dip it here, dip it there, and it's done. And we can just put our crepes on a counter. You put some filling in, you wrap it, you just fold it, you close the edges so you don't lose anything, and that's how it is. Don't make it too tight because then they can break. We'll make few here to make sure you know how to wrap them. Fold it, and wrap it. We'll fit like 6 or 7 on a frying pan, so let's make that many. We can keep our crepes here and do it on a plate where they are. Just try to separate them. When you have some of your filling left over and you don't want to make any more of these, you can cook some pasta, and you can mix these with pasta and you will have like kluski z grzybami i z kapustą. So it's another simple dish, which is really good. We'll have delicious dinner today. I'm very excited about that. That's like one of my favorites. And as always, I have to say thank you to my cameraman, Michael. Without him, I wouldn't be able to show you close-ups of everything. Let us check our soup. It's boiling. I think this is like really hot because I can smell the oil. Okay, let us dip these here, so nice and round, and I'll just leave them here for now because I think I have to wait a little bit for my oil to cool down a little bit. So it's exactly the same thing like with our cutlets. We just have to be very careful to not break them. Although the filling is nothing like runny, it won't go anywhere, but they look not nice when they break. And if you would have meat filling, that would be so easy too, just doing the same thing. Okay, one more. Okay, let me wash my hands. Okay, now I will put my frying pan back on a heat. I think we need to do maybe like 5.5, and now I will drop these. So you just have to make sure they fry right from when you drop them in. The oil should be hot enough so it's start to frying them. Okay, and we continue with wrapping and filling until we run out of one thing or the other thing or both. Perfectly both together at the same time. That's just so perfect. Let's see how is our barszcz doing. When I have everything out prepared, so I don't have to dig for things, it's kind of not enough space for me here. The soup is nice and red, beautiful, and clear too. I'll maybe try it, how salty it is, and we can spice it up. No, it needs more salt. What I put into my soup, into my red barszcz, is like some salt, some Maggi, pepper, and then we have to make it a little bit sour. So I get my sour from lemon, or you can use some of the vinegar. And then at the end I add garlic to make it nice and garlicky, and then marjoram, and that's it. So I will add some of this. I will salt it a bit. Some beets are very sweet and will make it more sweet. Your soup will be more sweet. Some beets are not as sweet, and then sometimes you need to add a little bit of sugar, but this is like pretty sweet, so I don't think I will add any sugar. I will just add some pepper. Not too hot, not too spicy. And I'll squeeze some lemon. We might need more, but first we need to check. So let's mix it. Smells nice. Okay, let me try it again. I would add more lemon, and that's what I will do. Okay. Let us first check our croquettes, because maybe they are ready to be flipped. Oh yes, how nice. That's what we want. Golden brown. And here we can mince some garlic, which I prepared already. And we can even add this because we'll strain the soup through the strainer, so there will be no extra pieces, big pieces of garlic in our bowl or cup. Okay. Let it just simmer a little bit, and after we turn it off, we'll just add some marjoram. We don't boil or don't cook soup after we add marjoram because it might become bitter. So I will just have last taste of it. And you can spice it up the way you like. More sweet, less sweet, more salty, less salty, more peppery. It's really up to you. You could also add some heavy whipping cream like you add to other soups, but it's not necessary. Yes, it's really good. You can taste garlic. Let it boil a little bit with that garlic to get more flavor out of it for like another minute. I will lower heat. And I think we are almost finished here. A little bit longer, yes. So I guess I will see you in a minute. Okay, we are back. The soup is ready. Also, one more hint: when you cook your mushrooms, you may save the boiling water from mushrooms, and then you may add some to your soup, which will really enhance the flavor. Let me turn that off. I think we can turn everything off, and let's add some marjoram and mix it. Okay, let it sit a little bit so it gets the flavor, and I will take out my croquettes from the frying pan. I always put them on a paper towel to drain excess of fat, and in a second I will show you how to serve both. Okay, let's make a little bit space here. So you see, this is my mushroom water. Okay. We will get a little bowl, and I will use this little strainer now. Later I will just strain the whole soup, the whole bowl, whole pot of soup. Although I still want, like the first one, I will just put like it is. And there's nothing wrong to serve it with all the vegetables, with all the beets in. I just want to make it so it's ready to be drink, not eaten by the spoon. Okay, I'll cover this. Oh, they're nice and soft. So that's how they look inside. We can make it like that. It looks nice. Let's add some Polish accent. And here it is. Barszcz czerwony i krokiety z kapustą kiszoną i grzybami. Smacznego!